with that situated, let's get my tag switched. Let's see, we'll put Dungeons and Dragons. Creation time. Okay. Then I just need to also get a new browser window opened. Let's see. Where is that PDF? And here we'll do that, just to hide my links. And off of that, on with that. Disregard one of the links there. Oh boy, faster, Mara. Faster, faster, faster. Nice. All right, there we go. You didn't see anything. Totally good. I don't read stuff in my spare time. Of course not. That would be silly. Sorry, DMing a friend that's in my DMs right now. But yes, so this is what we're going to be doing for the rest of the night, as you can see. Hopefully I don't get too distracted by my friend in my DMs, but we're looking to do some studying of this new tabletop system that Jade has found and was very curious about trying out. So again, currently this is in beta. So we're gonna get that figured out, and I'm going to get a character put together. I'm not sure what everybody else is making, and I know I've already made one little sassy tomboy. Probably not going to do that this time. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I might go for something eloquent actually, because let's see, because I'm going through the list of characters I currently have that are on tabletop stuff. So what right now we have we'll go with oldest to newest currently, don't we? Or should we? So to start we have Yue, who is very pretty, and I wouldn't exactly call her eloquent. I would call her very much a brute. She is very violent and aggressive, and suffers from a lot of what I could best describe as suffering from feeling other. So we've got the sad, violent one, for the most part. Yeah, Beak Bee Lady, exactly. I love her to death, though right now that poor character is actively suffering. Nature is trying to torture her. And then second up would be what's in Jade Harpy's MechWarrior Destiny campaign, which would be Natalka Semyonova, our grumpy little tomboy. And yeah, she's sassy, kind of awkward in places, but fun. But again, kind of separating herself from the world. And then we have our little our unintended mascot character for D&D, Torment Ziggurat. I did not mean that when making her. I loved the dichotomy of an adorable woodland creature with a fucking gun. In Serais Duenal. So yeah, I think we need some eloquence here. We need somebody fancy. We need somebody classy, but we're gonna see what's in Bite the Hand. I know that according to the notes, we are supposed to be mercenaries. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe elegant on the battlefield, so it may end up being another UA situation, but hopefully maybe a little more, a little different. We'll find out. So Bite the Hand was conceived while playing Cyberpunk 2077, being a warden of a mothership campaign, listening to Nine Inch Nails and Rage Against the Machine, and watching the news in December of 2024 and January of 2025. Thanks and no thanks. Oh my god, that's great. Hey Malum, I'm doing pretty well. We just got done with some building tonight. I decided to cut it off early so we could spend more time doing some character creation, some character building that we need to do for a game that I'm going to be in on Wednesday. Yeah, you're going to see it live. You're going to see us make our character. Yes, Malum. What's up? Yeah, I thought to do it live because, again, I haven't read anything, so I have no clue what I'm doing. I love the reason why they did Bite the Hand, and that is, I now see why Jade found this, and wanted to do this. This is, yeah, let's see, yeah, it's a content warning. Bite the Hand is a dark game for mature audiences. It contains violence, harsh language, references to sex and drug use, depictions of mental health struggles, and body horror that may not be suitable for all audiences. So be very careful. What do you want to buy? Malum, let's say Aras, but do you play, or do you get Megabonk, or while you do that, I'm gonna start looking at the character creation here, because let's see, what sections do I not need to check? Actually, no, I need to read through all of this. Luckily, it's only 40 pages. I know there's 2 games I want to try to get myself to stream, possibly, for that. A set of jeweled training butt plugs with an electric one. Ooh. Ooh, that is a great question. Now, I would say the latter, but then again, I'm also one for having toys. I like having options. Oh, nice. That's at least good that it's user friendly, because That's definitely something that I feel some can be really overwhelming. But due to this not being completed yet, still, it's gonna be pretty nice. Welcome back, Jane. The things I was unprepared hearing while wandering Night City. Yeah, it's what I got asked. Jade, Malam has a question on what he should buy, if he should get Megabonk or plugs. All right, so. Oh yeah, there's only 3 stats. There's no strength or. Oh wait, no, there is strength. There's just like, yeah, no dex, no con. Plunk themselves mega. Yeah. You know, I should grab a snack while we go through this. Had I been smart, I would have done that. Let me grab a couple snacks too while you decide stuff here. I'm not even gonna swap out a screen because my snack is over here. I'm not gonna be able to have this in the other house. We're going for fruits tonight. If I'm feeling something sweet, I can grab some hockey. Cause I gotta clear that stuff out. Oh, speaking of actually things to get, Stig, I might have something I need to request of you. Can you tell me where you got those shoes? I'll try to get them once I get moved, but I would like a pair of those if they fit. Well, I've got small feet, but sorry, also grabbing snacks, because we'll nibble on these as we go. Okay. That's enough discs of jerky. Even Ben's is like, yeah, plugs. And spicy pistachios. Fair. I will have to go see. Yes, boots. Healed boots, yes. Okay. Let's see. Intelligent intellect represents your quick thinking, hacking, repair, medicine, and social manipulation abilities. Okay. Jade server. Okay. I will definitely go put that on my wish list and get that situated. Oh, true. It's very true. I always verbally I forget that, but then I remember it's like, no, he hangs around all of us and does not flinch at anything we say. It's kind of like Talon in that sense of like most people would think she's innocent and she's the worst gremlin. Okay. Let's see, strength used for melee, moving large objects, and attacking with medium and heavy weapons. Skill used for stealth, driving, lockpicking, and attacking with light weapons and grenades. I absolutely have, and I have adored every bit, even if I may have not said it. I'm sorry that I did not sing out praises. Sometimes I get quiet. Trying to be better about that, honestly, on my own end. Let's see, the 3 saves. Firebomb, your cybernetics defense against hacking and viruses. Body, your ability to dodge, stand firm, and resist substances. And bravery, your bravery, sanity, and willpower. This world isn't fair, and neither are your character stats. To determine your base stats and saves, roll 2d10 plus 20 once for each. Alright. For this... Do I have dice on me? I think I actually took all those down. You know, I'm gonna go grab those as well, so I'll be back in just a second. I'm also gonna get myself a monster because I'm gonna need the caffeine, I feel. Maybe I'll grab a slice of cheese or two while I'm down there too. You know, go full snack gremlin tonight. So I will be right back to get that situated, and then we can roll the dice on stream so people can know I'm not cheating. Alright, there we go. I have things and stuff and things and all the things. Ugh, okay. Oh, sorry about that. Alright. So, for a moment, though, we will bring this back. Also, let me get my... So, for rolling health... Yeah, I have some fancy things along with a bunch of tasty snacks for myself, a bunch of cheese because I have a fucking problem and it's cheese. Uh, but then also this fancy critical role spell scroll, dice rolling tray, and all this, so I may as well actually use it. It's also got like a big Dunamancy spell on the back of it. See, I don't see any D10s there, just a shit tons of 6s and 8s. Okay, I see 2 D10 in there. Let's see, the rest of these are, yeah, the other sections. Alright, 10s, if we can get one into it. There we go. And I tend to like to roll in a Perth cup as it is, just because. So 2d10 once for each. So again, we're not doing D&D rails here. We're just doing whatever comes out. So for my intellect, I've got 30. So nice in the middle. Or I guess, Jade, that's the question. Do we just automatically assign in thing, or here, I'll do 30, and then we'll figure it out. Because I guess I should probably here, we'll do this for now in cybernetics, and then we'll get that swapped out. Stats. I guess you can't see that currently, but you went straight down the lines. I might do that too. Let's see, 31 for the other. Let's see. And 25. I think I'm going to do the same. Here, we'll pop back here. So 30, 31, and 25. Now we still need to do the rolls for, I'm guessing, the saves from the looks of it. Because it looks like the save rolls are similar, right? Okay. Again, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong, but I think this is how we go. So Firewall gets to be 32. Yeah, Stig, I think I'm with you. I like straight down the line. This is a one shot. We don't need to worry too much. 28 for body. And then $24 for the mind. This also gives me a chance to reward myself with snacks. Alright, I'll hydrate too. By hydrate, I mean caffeinate. Ah, good. Alright. Alright, so 1d10 now instead of 2d10. So my starting health is 1d10 plus 10. 16. Wounds. Starts at 2. Set your maximum wounds to 2 by default. And set your current wounds for 0. For more in health, wounds, and taking damage, see page 29. We'll get there. Choose one added stat and save bonuses to the numbers you rolled in step 1. Okay. So from here, we're going to scroll down. So let's get back to this. And let's see, what do we have? We have the rogue, street urchins, thieves, assassins, and spies, journalists, punk artists. You're a crafty sort who prefers to get things done in a somewhat indirect manner. When shit does hit the fan, you attack with finesse and skill rather than brute force and high firepower. Maybe you have a serious code and goals, or maybe you're just trying to get your slice of the pie. Plus 10 strength, plus 20 skill, plus 10 body, plus 10 mind. I see we don't have the 4th, sadly. We only have the 3 to choose from. Turncoat sounds fun, though. Soldier, Army, Marines, Navy, Space Force, mercenaries, police. One way or another, you spent some time fighting someone else's war. Maybe months, maybe years. They outfitted you with some nasty stuff to make you better at killing, and worse at dying. Eventually, your service ended, whether you retired, or discharged, or went AWOL. Now you're fighting with the only war that matters to you, the class war. Plus 20 strength, plus 10 skill, plus 20 body. Base cybernetics combat implants. And then finally, since the turncoat is redacted, the technician, scientists, engineers, doctors, hackers. Machines make the world go round, and you know how all the gears fit together. The line between machine and human is blurred, and you know your way around both. When things need fixing, there's nothing you can't fix. When things need to be broken, you know where the weak points are. In the material world and cyberspace. Plus 20 intellect, plus 15 firewall, and plus 15 mind. Base cybernetics, integrated hack deck. Well, I think I know which one I'm going to go with for this. Because I wanted somebody charismatic. I wanted somebody who can fuck with shit on a social level. And since I'm a bitch that likes to talk a lot, and seems really forward in a lot of the games I do, I think we're going to go with Rogue. Because, of course. And let's do Mara. Here, I'm also going to do something real quick, so that way then I don't have to flip between these two. Browser. Give me 2 seconds. Oh wait, no, I can't do it that way. Shit, never mind. I was trying to be clever. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll just... do that. Maybe that. And that. Oh. Control Z for that one. There. It might be a little harder for you all to read, but here, I will try to make it as big as I can for all of you, so that way then we can still see stuff. And go like that. Yeah, I think that'll do. And then let me just shove it on up into the corner there, and then I will also drag it down. There we go, like that. Sorry, I heard something over in the corner. Did I lock a cat in my closet? 1 second. I might have locked a cat in my closet. Oh, no, I didn't. She's playing something near the closet and I didn't see her. About to get on my chair and then I suddenly see her bolt out. Ah, cats. Oh, kitties. But, yeah, no, this allows us to see both while I'm also eating and taking care of things, you know? Though, actually, since I'm going to be reading this booklet aloud, I might actually shrink this down to just this. That way then it could be a little bigger. Since I do like to talk and read a lot. So yeah, we are going to go with the rogue. So, 41 strength. 45 skill. 38 body. And 34 mind. So again, mostly down the middle. I didn't get any particularly exemplary rolls, but again, things averaging in them, you know, at least 30s to 40s. I didn't get any abysmal rolls. Like, honestly, the worst was that that mind roll, but even then, yeah, it's not bad at the end of it all. Alright, let's return back to what we were checking. Alright. Roll 1d10 for a starting loadout and signature style on page 6 and page 8, respectively. Alright, I'm going to jump around the booklet and we're going to read all of these out before I do the rolls, and then we'll come back for that, okay? So, starting loadouts for Rogue. Just decide which of the dice gets to do it, whichever one was heavier. So, loadouts for the Rogue. Knife ×2. A submachine gun, 3 reloads. First aid kit, lockpick kit. Grapple gun. Let's see, I'm also grabbing more snacks because again, hungry, feeling snacky. Yeah, these loadouts contain the weapons and other items characters start with. Roll 1d10 on the table that corresponds to your class, and then write them down to your character sheet. Not all of them are equal value, but you're clever and you can make anything work. Assume all characters also start with basic clothes and a backpack and a smartphone in addition to these items. Yeah, makes sense. But I only said the first of the 10 loadouts for the rogue. Let's see, loadout 2, knife, pistol, suppressed, 4 reloads, and healing stim times 2. The third, pistol times 2, 6 reloads, flashlight, scanner, toolset, and grapple gun. Loadout 4, magnum, scope, 4 reloads, sword, drone plus remote, hack deck, and lockpick kit. Loadout number 5, crossbow, 8 reloads, sword, hack deck, lockpick, and grapple gun. Loadout 6 is fancy clothes, knife, pistol, and healing stim. Kinda almost just want the 6. We gotta roll, so we'll continue on. Loadout 7 is light armor, submachine gun with a suppressor, 3 reloads, sword, and flashlight. Rogue kit 8 is light armor, knife, pistol, scope, 4 reloads, and binoculars. Loadout 9 is light armor, assault rifle, suppressor, reload, 2 reloads, drone plus remote, and lockpick kit. And finally, 10 is light armor, knife, marksman rifle, 3 reloads, and first aid kit. Yeah, I almost kind of just want that loadout 6, but let's see what the dice tells us, huh? Oh, fuck, okay. Just making sure here. Okay, yeah. No, it's balanced. It just landed on 0, which 0 means 10. Yeah, the dice say Snake Woman exactly, so that's what we're going to do. Light armor, knife, marksman rifle, 3 reloads, and first aid kit. Okay, yeah, no, it's just the fabric of this that seems to eat some of the momentum. Had to make sure, but yeah. Really, I should have tested that before, but now we're here, and this is how it is. Okay, cool. So that was that loadout. Let's see, and signature style. Despite the collapse of the social contract, the cyberpunk genre is noted for its very stylish characters, often taking cues from 80s and 90s counterculture trends. Whether high fashion items discarded by the wealthy, punk streetwear, used military attire, or just a hairdo or tattoo, your character wouldn't be caught dead without their signature style. I'd encourage you to roll for a random one of these, but if you get something you don't like, you can just re-roll. Pick one out, or make one up, since these have no mechanical effects. Hey, that's fair. Yeah. Individuality is a small act of rebellion. Consider what your character's style says about them. Is there a story behind that tattoo? Does that jacket used to belong to someone else? Alright, the signature styles. Ah, we are doing D100 now. In that case, we need to swap the D10s. Because for some reason, this cloudy one doesn't seem to... Oh, wait, no, there's its... Here's its compatriot. Might free it from its, den. Especially the fact that that die doesn't match in that. I think, yeah, we're gonna... Okay. So D100. Let's see what we get, huh? 67. Weren't we just talking about 67 earlier? Yep. Oh, I love it. I think I have a fun idea for that Eat the Rich tattoo. You know what? I like this. I fuck with this. Eat the fucking rich. Oh, I love this. Yeah, there's some really nice ones, but no, I fuck with Eat the Rich. No shirt, just bra. You know, that checks out for you, Stig. Alrighty, now for money. Sponge Boy Me Bob. Alright. Why are you blushing? Alright, let's see what my money is. So roll 2d10 times 10 for your starting cash. Oh wow. Okay, that is 180 cash. I can type it right. All right. Step 5, select cybernetics and calculate stress. Each class comes with one mandatory cybernetic. You choose one more for free to start out. See the full catalog starting on page 10. Each piece of cybernetic increases your minimum stress. Once you've chosen your starting cybernetics, note down your minimum stress, which should be 2 through 5, and make sure your current stress is equal to your minimum. Most cybernetics also increase your stats, so note that as well. So, being a rogue, I have sound dampeners. Making sure to note that down. So, oh god, this looks like a mess on this page and I love it. Again, I love seeing designers do stuff because, oh, I love this process. I missed this from when I was testing a friend's Star Trek tabletop RPG years and years and years ago now. I think I used to have a copy in my house, but I might have lost it when I moved up to Washington. But yeah, basically it was similar to MechWarrior Destiny in like, I think it was like a D6 or 2D6 system. And it had both ship station, ship-to-ship combat. So basically, you only had one starship for your entire group because you were a crew. But then you also had landing party stuff, which was super fucking cool. But again, I'm getting all over the place. Maybe once I get settled, I would love to maybe do a one-shot, like after a couple of the other campaigns, either like after maybe Torment Ziggurat rolls away, maybe I'll take over for a tabletop one and drag you all through Convictor Drive. Because that's one I've been so curious about, and I would actually love to see a bunch of people try to play it that are like Power Rangers Megaforce, or not Megaforce, Hyperforce. Because your girl likes tokusatsus, and I have a fucking problem. But cybernetics, yes. Cybernetics have become common in the futures of Bite the Hand. New players get one mandatory cybernetic based on their class, plus one of their choice that they qualify for. In order to acquire two or three tier cybernetics, you must have at least one of the lower tier cybernetics that lead into it in the chart below. When you add cybernetics to your character, remember that adding a new cybernetic increases your minimum stress by an amount equal to its tier 1, 2, or 3. So for this, I am going to also showcase this chart because also I appreciate them for saying this. Just doop. I'll get a real graphic designer to make this nicer eventually. It's like I love this though. This is good. So some are beta redacted, as you can see. So let's see. Okay, audio enhancer. You need that plus the redacted. Or you need that, or one of the redacted, or the cyber eyes for integrated scanners. Cyber eyes can become thermal vision or X-ray vision at tier 2 and 3, or the magnifier, which can also go to X-ray vision or holo projector, or reflex enhancer, which goes to something redacted. Same for the integrated scanner, going to 2 redacted things. Interesting. Okay. Integrated hack deck, range extender, and EMP shielding. Same for Firewall Alpha and Omega. Obviously, we'll read through all of the ones that I can choose from. Either the ones that sound dampeners can go up to, or ones that I would like to climb for what I want. Cosmetic enhancements, fireproofing, EMP shielding, hidden compartment, chameleon mod, cloaking device, biomonitor, which can go to backup heart and integrated weapon, or combat implants that also can give backup heart, or light armor to heavy armor. Sensei chip, deployable shields, also integrated weapon. Integrated defibrillator can go into something redacted or the repulsor, but the deployable shield and the repulsor can go into POW after. Wrist winch can go into Swiss hand, which strangely doesn't have anything else. Impact dampeners can go to emergency thrusters, can go to flight system. Jump booster can go to speed booster and flight system, and sound dampeners can go to either the emergency thrusters or speed booster. Interesting. Let's see, tier 1, minimum, +1 minimum stress. Audio enhancer, +5 intellect. Cybernetics implanted in your ears grant you superhuman hearing. You can listen in on hushed conversations across rooms, among other things. Creatures have negative to attempt stealth near you. Oh, that's why some of these are redacted, because they're turncoat only. Interesting. And some can only be by certain classes, so that's cool. Biomonitor, +5 body. Simple internal computer monitors your vitals. Anytime anything is wrong with you biologically, you instantly become aware. As examples, you'll be alerted to excess pathogens in your system, and you'll know if the air is toxic several minutes before you feel its effects. And combat implants, soldier only. Military tech. Adrenaline injectors, a subdermal carbon fiber weave, and blood pumps grant you +1 wound. But also, a total of +3 minimum stress instead of the default 1. Holy shit. Soldiers are fucked up, man. I mean, it makes sense, but... Cosmetic enhancements, +5 to any skill or save. You've obviously altered your appearance artificially in a manner of your choosing. You might have made yourself extremely attractive, intimidating, or whatever else you can think of. These modifications offer no combat advantage, but grant plus in certain social manipulation scenarios where being attractive or intimidating is helpful. I am really looking at cosmetic enhancements, but we'll see. Cyber eyes. Your eyes have been replaced with mechanical ones. These are a prerequisite for many other types of cybernetics. Includes basic night vision. Firewall Alpha. Plus 10 firewall. An added layer of digital security enhances your firewall a great deal. Hidden compartment. Plus 5 body. Section of your ribs opens up to reveal a space large enough for a light weapon or other similar items. Lead lined to prevent electronic detection. Integrated defibrillator. Plus 5 strength. You have the full functionality of a defibrillator embedded into your hands. You can also use it to jumpstart or short circuit small technology. Oh, that's fun. Shake the hand. Technically, you'd need both on, but still, let me live my dreams here. Integrated hack deck. Technician only. Black market tech. You have the full functionality of a hack deck. Hack deck embedded into your skull. You can perform hacking actions without external equipment, without making it obvious through basic observation that you are the source of the hack. That's a fun one. Impact dampeners. As long as you are conscious and your legs aren't broken, you can fall any distance and land on your feet without them. Without harm. Superhero landing. Got it. Jump boosters. Plus 5 strength. Spring-loaded ankles allow you to jump up to 30 feet 10 meters high or forward. Can be done quietly. Ooh. Sensei chip. Plus 5 strength. Software in your arms allows your unarmed attacks to deal 1d10 damage and attack twice like a light weapon. Sound dampeners, rogue only. Black market tech. Movement smoothers in your custom legs make your footsteps and other movements produce almost no sound. You can automatically succeed at some stealth-based checks and saves, not otherwise usually have plus. And then wrist winch, 5 strength. Your cybernetic hand can get attached to the wrist, revealing a 50-foot spool of thin but strong steel cord. You can use this to pull yourself, objects, or other willing creatures weighing up to 500 pounds, or as a grappling hook. As much as I would read through the other tier 2s and 3s, I'm just going to read the one that I currently can get, which would be emergency thrusters and speed booster, since these are the options I have to me. Tier 2, minimum stress, plus 2 minimum stress, $1,000. Ooh, excuse me. When you make a saving throw, usually body to dodge external physical harm, explosion, car, etc., you have plus. I hate that she's a little fast, I guess. Let's see, and then the other that I had, speed booster. Your legs are overcharged, allowing you to move 2 range bands on your turn instead of just 1. That's a great question for these. I'm also just taking a look at some of the other stuff I can do. Layer of artificial skin allows you to make limited adjustments to your appearance. You may alter your skin tone, complexion, eye color, and hair color at will. You can create complex images such as tattoos or freckles. The actual physical structure of your face or body do not change. Let's see. If I went that route, also I can look at cloaking device. You and your clothes and equipment can turn nearly invisible at will. You automatically succeed in most checks related to stealth. You can be spotted by vision-enhancing cybernetics, by being coated in something like sand or paint, or while standing in heavy rain or snow. You can do this for up to an hour. However long you keep the system active is for how long it must cool down before being used again. Attacking disrupts the invisibility until the start of your next turn. Or flight system. Via rockets in your hands, feet, back, you can fly. It's not subtle. You can do this for 10 minutes, recharges when you rest. True, I could be a stealth snooper. Okay, first sound dampeners. Interesting, that's one of the few that actually doesn't give an increased skill. Fascinating. I don't know if that's on purpose or on accident, but we'll do that. Stealth based checks, saves, and otherwise usually have plus. Yeah, I think the dice have been telling me what I want to do. I think that's what I'm going to follow. I think some of you might see what I'm going for this time. I think I'm going to be obnoxious. Wrist winch. Here I thought I was going to make a smart and sassy character, but I'm like, no. No, the dice have told me to snipe, woman. I shall snipe, woman. Am I gonna be the reason Jade makes house rules? Maybe. We'll see him. I feel like I'm being a bit obnoxious. I am going to become Widowmaker. No, I'm not gonna go French. Fuck that. Target. Attack. Movement smoothers in your custom legs make your footsteps and other movements produce almost no sound. And then this one. Your cybernetic hand can detach at the wrist. healing of 50, but spool of thin but strong steel cord. You can use this to pull yourself, objects, or other willing creatures weighing up to 500 pounds, or as a grappling hook. Oh, exactly. I'm used to playing with you, and yeah, no, house rules are the name of the game, hon. I'm not trying to break shit right now. I'm making a character, and apparently it's a fucking sniper. Because that's what the dice told me. Which is funny because Natalka, I think, uses an anti-personnel sniper rifle. Exactly, it's just part of the deal. Yeah, that was the one thing I just noticed for sound dampeners, is sound dampeners don't have any increase, but that's... Yeah, and yeah, Natalka's also a sniper, so I was like, god damn it. The dice just want me to be a sniper in anything cybernetic, right? Got it. This one's just going to be more focused on it, I guess. We have one of those too. Her name is V, and we love her for it. Oh, I see. Yeah, all the... Never mind, all the class-specific ones don't have improvement. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go stick with wrist winch, as much as cosmetic enhancements would have been one of the other ones I would really want. But that's also because I'm really curious about Swiss hand. Still waffling. Yeah, I'll make her. I think I'm gonna actually switch to cosmetic enhancements. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with making her beautiful, but yeah, her having just a more military loadout is still helpful for this. You have obviously altered your appearance artificially in a manner of your choosing. You might have made yourself extremely attractive, intimidating, or whatever else you can think of. These modifications offer no combat advantage, but may grant plus in certain social manipulation scenarios where being attractive or intimidating is helpful. All right. Yeah, we're gonna make her pretty. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. So while we're at that, let's see about... Yeah, we already did starting cash. Give your character name, pronouns, and a description. Okay. Now here's the real question. What is my character? What do they do? Why are they like this? Why are they sneaky? I might look over the equipment real quick. Actually, yeah, we'll do the equipment and then we'll come back to start writing character stuff. One thing will be constant / she, her. Might switch it to she, they. We'll see for the character. We'll see as she forms. All right. 17 clothing and armor and weapons. Let's see, light armor. So my armor is 3. He'd be concealed underneath a jacket, sweats, etc. Yeah, fancy clothes would have been fun for carport smoozing, but... Yeah, God, just... Even the light armor, that's just Natalka as well, because... Most of the time, unless she's just, you know... relaxing, she's got the light armor underneath her clothes. Exactly. Jade is one of my favorite GMs ever because, yeah, no, she'll let you do whatever the fuck you want. It just means that she's gonna have fun too. All's fair, and I appreciate that, honestly. It's also why I'm very careful with my words around her. It's like I'm a fae or something, and I know better. I ain't walking on eggshells, but I know when to be careful when giving her ideas. Yo! I'll deal with the compliment, hon. You're clever and wonderful. It's true. I can trust. I can trust you with ideas because you'll act on them. Little gremlin. As long as the stream's still going. Oh, exactly. Yeah, we know plenty of people like that, and we try to help them not listen to the little voice in their head of like, yes, tell them everything. But at the same time, it's also fun to sometimes let them, because you know then we get to see what chaos Jade brings. Okay. Let's see. So first off, I have a marksman rifle. Marksman rifle. Yeah, Jade loves players like you. Damage 2d10. Oh no, sorry, 3d10. Right. I was looking at the Magnum. Okay, 3 reloads, 4 rounds each. Range long. And issue with marksman rifle. Negative to attack in melee range. Makes sense. And the other, a knife. I guess also I should put medium. Oh. Lights. No. Making something cursed and fabulous all the time. Alright. Knife! Damage 1d10. Range. Melee. Bleeding wounds. It's nice that they have a form fillable thing. Just some of, like, the notes thing would be nice to have, like, a little more space. Throw close range. All right. Okay. So from here, we'll just read through the booklet as I figure out things for my character here. Because I am curious about like the combat style and how everything works, reading the dice. Cheaper versions of cybernetics can be used to treat injuries or birth defects, such as deafness, blindness, and incomplete limbs. Interesting. Okay, cool. So it's an honor system for carrying stuff. That's at least nice. Yeah, be honest. Do you really have room for 10 guns and 1,000 rounds of ammo? Yeah. Not visually stealthy, but I'm sneaky. Cargo pants! It's a collapsible one. Let's see the other weapons. Anti-material rifle, makes sense. Assault rifle, axe, crossbow. Crossbow would have been funny. HMG. Laser rifle, large machine gun, magnum, missile launcher, napalm grenade, shotgun set off. Sledge, SMG, sniper rifle, stun stick. Sword and unarmed. Oh yeah, what is... Interesting for unarmed. That's actually rather brilliant how they have that written. Here, let me... Just do that also, just to showcase things. Use higher of strength or skill. Roll wounds twice. Take the less harmful results. Interesting. Again, makes sense for... Again, yeah, reading dice. Obviously, I'm used to a D100 system. Oof, excuse me. Most of the rolls in Bite the Hand are D100s. Unless you have a digital dice roller or a real D100, this means you'll be rolling 2 D10s. Yeah. One represents the 10s, and the other The ones, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do. Where D5 is called for. Exactly, yeah. This really helps for anybody who's never done this before. Yeah, it's good to help people with it. Funnily enough, I do have a D5 downstairs. I do have one of those. Admittedly, they are weird, and I never feel like they're balanced. Yep. Yeah, the single digit 0 is a 10. So like if you roll 90 on the double digit and a 0 on the single digit, yeah, that's 100. Finally, panic and heat checks use a D20, which is read normally. Okay. I don't actually see a sector for panic, do I? I will find out about that. Bite the Hand can be a challenging and dark game. Here's some tips to help you get the most of it. Players, remind the warden of your character's abilities and equipment. They might forget about your audio enhancer or your bio monitor when narrating. Wardens remind your players of things they forget, but their characters should remember. You're probably thinking about your campaign all the time, while they only think about it weekly at most. See, that's a nice note to have. Admittedly, yes, even as both player and GM. Yeah, sometimes I've forgotten that too. It's constantly on my mind, so it's hard for me to always realize, oh hey, the other player's trouble, and think about it whenever we meet. Come to terms with characters dying and getting hurt. Victory demands sacrifices. Don't expect everything to be fair and balanced. Go with the flow. Pay attention. The more focus you put in, the more enjoyment you get out. Take notes. Avoid distractions. Did you just smack my... Did you just smack my foot? Mallow, hi, baby. You doing okay? Sorry, Mallow. That annoyed me. If your stats or save gets reduced, write down what they used to be. This way, if they get to be restored, you know what they should be. Speaking of distraction, oh well. Alright, checks and saves. Sorry, I was reading this. Again, another nice note to have of them. You know, punk does not mean jerk. The world of the game is dangerous and uncomfortable. Hanging out with you shouldn't be. Respect the boundaries of your fellow players. Make sure everyone is comfortable and happy to play. Deal with difficult topics in a respectful way. Before a game begins, you should hold a session 0, so the warden can go over that what kind of and how much dark stuff is likely to be in the game. Likewise, players should explain where they draw the line. These are incompatible. You should either make adjustments or find other folks to play with. Respect the boundaries you set and be apologetic if you cross lines accidentally. I'm sure this is something that Jade will probably do at the very beginning, just to make sure we're all okay with stuff out in that. I know where my limits are. Luckily I don't have too many on my own, but yeah, probably similar to what I have stated before for both MechWarrior Destiny and Torment Ziggurat, that I have difficulty with, like, being bullied, especially at length. Again, that's just, I got some trauma, and some of it is I was bullied a lot when I was younger, so, and I still suffer with some of the rigors of that because, yeah, that's just a part of life. I was picked on by a lot of people, some of them even family, so I don't always handle it well, and I try to avoid it as much as I can. But luckily, it's very hyper-specific. So for tabletop stuff, it can usually be avoided pretty well. Alright, now to check these, things. Whenever a player wants to do something that is difficult or uncertain, the warden can call for a check. Check means that a player rolls a D100, and if the result is less than or equal to the relevant stat action, or is less than or equal to the relevant stat, the action is successful. If higher, the action fails, usually sparking some sort of consequence. Oh, interesting. Okay, so for this, rolling high's bad. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. For example, if a player wants to shoot something with a shotgun, the warden can ask them to make a strength check. If they roll equal or under their strength, they hit the target. If they roll over their strength, they might just miss and waste ammo, or they might shoot something they didn't mean to. I've not played Dark Heresy, but no, I know of similar systems, so yeah, no, I'm there with you. It's like, okay, that makes total sense to me. Wardens should only call checks in situations where success is very uncertain, or where failure is likely to have consequences. Even in combat, checks should only be rolled for attacks where there is risk of friendly fire, or a very fast-moving target, partial cover, or some other significant uncertainty. Under normal conditions, most actions should just work. Yeah. Yeah. we're playing golf rules with the rolls, which is great. Players never declare that they are making a save. Instead, the warden calls for a save when there's something dangerous is about to happen to a player. If the player rolls equal to or under their save number, they avoid all or most of the harm. If they roll over it, they fail and incur the harm. Here's some situations that call for saves. Firewall, an enemy hacker has targeted you. You've been fed a computer virus. Body, you need to roll away from an explosion, vehicle, falling object. You've been poisoned, burned, or shocked. You've consumed excess drugs / alcohol. Or mind, you've seen something distressing such as gore, a dead friend, or an inhuman cyborg monster. You need to try to maintain a straight face to avoid making noise despite something shocking or scary. Critical success and failure. Sometimes actions have spectacular and unexpected results. Any result of doubles on the D100. Oh shit, wait, this is how you do crits in this. Okay, now that's new. I have not seen that. So any result of doubles on the D100, i.e. 00, 11, 22, 33, so forth, triggers a critical success or failure. For example, a player with 50 strength gets a critical success when they roll a 44, but a player with 40 strength gets a critical failure on the same roll. Interesting. Okay, so that increases the critical chance quite a bit, but that's really cool because that evens the field for both critical success and critical failure. Oof. That's going to sting. When this happens, something extra good or extra bad happens for the player. For example, a critically successful attack might do extra damage or disarm the target, but a critically failed attack might cause the friendly fire or alert additional enemies. A critically successful save to avoid an explosion might remove you from harm entirely, but a critically failed save might cause you to be thrown across the room in addition to taking damage. A 99, 2 9s is always a critical failure, and a 0, so 100 is always a critical success, regardless of all other stats and rules. Okay, that's also really neat. Instead of being on, technically it's on opposite spectrums of the dice, but quintessentially next to each other. Additionally, critical failures give 1 stress and trigger a panic check. Read more about stress and panic on the next page. Failed mind saves. Upon failing mind saves, PCs gain 1 stress. This is true even if it isn't a critical failure. Sometimes there are no consequences for failed mind saves beyond an outward expression of emotion and 1 stress. Critical failures on mind saves do not give 2 stress, but do still cause a panic check. And then advantage and disadvantage. When you see a plus or minus in brackets in the rules, those mean advantage and disadvantage respectively. When you have plus on your roll the die twice and take the better of the 2 results. When you have negative, you roll the die twice and make the worst of the 2. You do not roll more than twice when you have multiple sources of advantage or disadvantage. If you should have equal sources of advantage and disadvantage on the same roll, they simply cancel out and you roll normally. Yeah, that checks out. Stress is an abstract measure of a player character's physical and mental wear and tear. Each new piece of cybernetics you install whittles away your tolerance for stress. Each new horror and each new personal failure adds to that stress. When it comes to stress, remember, your current stress can never be less than your minimum stress. If your minimum stress becomes higher than your current stress, raise your current stress to meet it. You gain 1 stress when you fail a mind save, you critically fail any check or save, also make a panic check. You are subjected to extreme conditions, starvation, etc. Anything else really fucking insane happens at the warden's discretion. Another player, character, or friendly NPC dying in front of you, narrowly avoiding your own death, or being betrayed by a supposed ally, as examples. Overstress. You can't have more than 20 stress. When you already have 20 stress and are supposed to gain another, you instead reduce the most relevant stat or save by 1. For example, if you gain stress from critically failing a firewall save, you reduce your firewall by 1. If any of your stats or saves becomes 0 through any means, you die. Which is fair. Admittedly, yeah, that takes quite a while, so they've done some good balancing on that part at least. I love the little things here, because these are supposed to be images later on. Oh, I love it. Alright. Ooh, I am curious about this, and I'm gonna read through this, because again, I want to know. I'm curious. This is a new system. I'm kind of excited. Again, I like weird systems and different systems. It's why I'm curious about Hyperforce and Convictor Drive, because those also go into some of my hyperfixations of tokusatsus. But panic. When things go very wrong for you, usually a crit fail, you must roll a panic check. When this happens, roll a d20. If the result is equal to or lower than your current stress, you suffer the result of the corresponding to your d20 roll on the panic table. If you roll over your stress, you keep it together. Some results have short-lived effects, while others create ongoing conditions. To end conditions, see the rules on page 34. Tattoo twins. Oh, you got Eat the Rich too? Nice. I already have a really cool image in my head for mine. We might have it different, but then finding out that it's the same thing, it's like, understanding nod. All hail number 67. Eat the Rich. If you have a disadvantage on a panic check, you take the higher number, unless it causes no effect, in which case you take the lower number. If you have advantage, you take the lower number, unless the higher number would mean that you don't panic at all, in which case you need to. Yep. Alright, the 20 panic effects. 1. Adrenaline. Your fight or flight comes in clutch. Reduce your stress by 1d5 and avoid all or most consequences from whatever triggered this panic check. Nerves. Gain 1 more stress. 3. Twitchy. You and all allies who can see and or hear you gain 1 stress. 4. Demoralized. Disadvantage on all checks and saves for the next 10 minutes. 5. Partial reboot. Choose a random piece of cybernetics. It and any cybernetics for which it is a prerequisite become unusable for the next 1d5 rounds. Short circuit. On number 6, you take 1d5 damage, ignoring armor. Electricity wounds. 7. Condition. Nightmares. Disadvantage on the rest of saves to reduce stress and restore health. Condition. Distracted on number 8. Reduce intellect and mind by 5 each. Can stack. 9. Condition. Glitched. Reduce skill and firewall by 5 each. Can stack. 10. Condition. Shaky. Reduce strength and body by 5 each. Can stack. 11. Bloodlust. Disadvantage on all rolls other than attacks for the next hour. 12. Misfire. You make 1 attack with your currently equipped weapon against your nearest ally. If none are nearby, you attack an object or wall. If you don't have a weapon, you punch. 13. Condition. Paranoid. Make a mind save anytime you meet a new person, entity. 14. Condition. Spiraling. Disadvantage on further panic checks. 15. Condition. Pessimist. Disadvantage on all saves. 16. Condition. Bad connection. Choose a random piece of cybernetics. It and any cybernetics for which it is a prerequisite for become completely inactive. 17. Lockup. You become unresponsive for 5d10 plus 10 minutes. Warden rolls in secret. 18. Heart attack. Gain 1 wound with this effect. Disadvantage on all rolls for the next 1d5 plus 1 days. 19. Cascade error. Roll 2 more times and suffer both effects. Rerolling further 19s. And 20. Lights out. Either your heart or mind has given out. Make a new character. Whew! Again, they were going to get worse the higher the number because... yeah. Oof. Yeah, don't roll high in this. Got it. Find your cursed die and tell them they have a chance. You have a chance here. Obviously, we'll be rolling digitally, but hopefully Roll20 doesn't keep giving me good rolls then. Alright, hacking, sneaking, and talking. Hacking. As long as you have the hack deck item, or the integrated hack deck cybernetics, you can perform wireless hacking actions on any electronic device or person with cybernetics within mid-range. Doing something simple like opening a door with weak digital security requires no roll. If you want to perform a complex action or target a device with a solid firewall, you must succeed on an intellect check. If you target a person or robot, you don't roll intellect, but they must make a firewall save to try to block you out. Most hacks take a few minutes to carry out, but some can be done quickly, even in combat. Complex tasks, limited time, and expensive security software may impose disadvantage. Failed hacking attempts may result in attention from enemies. Example hacks include, but are not limited to, disabling a security camera, installing or removing a virus, download or upload data files, bypassing a password, remote takeover of a vehicle or robot, access a distant piece of hardware via a network, or encrypt or decrypt something. In combat, you can use hacking to turn something on or off, deactivate or reactivate one piece of cybernetics/robotics. An example, blind an enemy by turning off their eyes, restore power to an ally cybernetics, etc. Trace the location of an unseen enemy, hacker who has targeted you. Or short circuit cybernetics/robotics. Deals 1d5 damage, ignores armor, electricity wounds. Ooh, yeah, the short circuit is nasty. Stealth and social checks. Bite the Hand has no dedicated stealth stat. Instead, what kind of check is rolled and if any is rolled at all depends on the situation. Most often, you'll need to make a skill check to move through an area in a careful way. Sometimes you might need to make a body save to hold your breath. Other times, you might need to make an intellect check to blend in with a particular crowd. Likewise, using a stat to persuade, intimidate, or otherwise manipulate someone also varies with the situation. Most often, you'll need to make an intellect check to appeal to a person's sensibilities. Occasionally, you might need to make a strength or skill check or something to do something intimidating or impressive. For both of these kinds of checks, as with most things in Bite the Hand, you roll whatever makes the most sense for the situation you're in. In situations that aren't particularly challenging, or when you aren't aided by equipment, no roll should be called for. I was curious about this heat system that I saw on the chat or the sheet. So let's see. Also might go like this and just. Actually, no, I liked this better. Yeah, I still like this. This was nice. As player characters begin interfering with the system will become upset with them. This is measured by the stat called Heat, which starts at 0 and maxes out at 20. So, now that I know that it's at 0, let's fill that in. You gain 1 heat when you succeed in a mission against a corporation, when you harm law enforcement, corporate assets, or government officials, and for every $2,000 of debt you have. You can avoid gaining heat by taking steps to hide your identity, but this can be difficult in environments with good surveillance. At the end of the day, when the party engaged in criminal activity, the warden makes a secret d20 roll against the party's player with the highest heat. This works like a panic check, where if the result is equal to or lower than their heat, they suffer the corresponding result on the table. The warden doesn't make this check if the party spent the day peacefully. For information on losing heat, see pages 34 and 35. NPC stats are on pages 40 and 41. Heat is an optional mechanic and may not be needed for short campaigns and one-shots. 1 through 5. Nothing immediately. But somehow, someone noticed the party. Everyone gains 1 heat. 6 to 10. A spy begins tailing the party and may spoil their plans if not discovered. 11 to 15. The PCs are in the news and could now be recognized by random citizens if not careful. This ends if their heat drops back below 11. 16 to 19. A corp or police department sends 1d10 soldiers to kill or capture the party. In 20, the government sends 1d5 plus 5 spec ops to kill the party. Again. Whoo! Spicy. Yeah, combat. Combat in Bite the Hand should be relatively quick and dirty compared to most TTRPGs. Read these rules thoroughly before you play. But don't spend too much time debating minutia at the moment. Just make the call and move on. Is all this heat for little old me? Yeah. Sounds like how Natalka got in trouble. By default, combats in Bite the Hand use a simple side-based initiative. Whichever group takes the first shot gets the first turn. Each member of that group then goes in whichever order they like. And then the other group goes, and so forth. Fights with 3 or more sides, sequence is simply longer. Each round counts for about 10 seconds of in-game time. In case where weapons are drawn simultaneously, each member of the party makes a skill check. This check does not generate stress or panic on critical failures. If at least half the party succeeds, they go first. On their turn, a PC or NPC can move 1 range band and take 1 action. Read more about the range bands on the next page. Example actions include, but are not limited to, attacking, reloading a weapon, hacking, sprinting to move a second range band, using an item, stim, detonator, etc., maneuvering a vehicle, interacting with something, pull a lever, smash a window, use a computer, attempting to escape being held or bound, throwing something, giving an item to another character. When an attack is declared, look at the situation. There is nothing making it difficult, and the target is within range of the weapon. Simply allow the attack to hit automatically, and roll the weapon's damage. If there is any difficult element involved, such as fast-moving target, difficult weather, darkness, questionable range, or friendly fire risk, then a check must be made. Light weapons and grenades use skill checks, while medium and heavy weapons use strength. If you're wielding 2 light weapons, 1 in each hand, you may attack with both as part of the same action. However, if a check would be called for, you must make 2 separate checks, which can be risky. Rather than counting out individual feet or meters, range is handled in 5 simple bands. Imagine a series of concrete circles around your character, or concentric circles around your character, with each one getting progressively larger. The lines between these range bands can be blurry. If you're ever unsure if something can reach or hit something, or hit something, err on the side of yes. Oh, hi, Kataki Mojo. Okay, thank you, dear. Hope you had fun with Destiny 2 earlier. I think that's what I saw you playing. Yes, rest well, dearie. Melee, 1 to 3 meters. As the name implies, this is the range for non-firearm weapons. You're close enough to hit a target with your fists, a hammer, or a blade. Or could be close enough with just a few steps and a lunge. You can whisper in this range. Close, 3 to 10. Too far to punch, you'll now need to shoot a firearm or throw something. Ideal for shotguns and SMGs. Covers the blast radius of most explosives. About how far you can move in a turn. Smells usually stop reaching beyond this range. Too far to whisper, but you don't need to yell. Mid, 10 to 30. Longer than most normal rooms, but easy to see. Good for pistols and assault rifles. Also the maximum distance at which your average hacker can operate. You won't be able to read normal-sized text from this far. You'll need to raise your voice. Long. 100 or 30 to 100 meters. stretching the limit of what most guns can reliably do, unless you add on a scope. You're getting into the territory of snipers. You will have trouble recognizing people this far away. You can shout, but it might be unclear if there's any background noise. 100 meters plus M. Extreme. Out to the horizon. Only a few weapons are relevant in this theater. Visual details become very difficult to distinguish. Stealth is almost guaranteed. It won't matter how loud you can yell. Discretion and meaning will be unclear. Or direction and meaning will be unclear. Time to invest in a radio and a scope. Cover. Simply use common sense to determine cover. Something completely blocking a target stops attacks altogether. Something partially obscuring a target imposes disadvantage on the attack. Cover can be destroyed or shot through when it makes narrative sense to do so. High caliber and explosive weapons are more likely to penetrate or break things. Damage and wounds. When you take damage, subtract your total armor from the damage, then decrease your health by that amount. If your health hits 0, increase your wounds by 1, and roll for a wound on the column corresponding to its damage type. Then, refill your health and take any leftover damage. Oh, that's actually a really cool system. Okay. If your current wounds equals your maximum, you make a death save. Some wounds have simple, temporary, or minimally harmful effects. These represents you getting lucky. Others require medical attention. Also, I want to see this damage over time thing first. Damage over time. Damage over time is displayed like this, bleeding +2. This example means that the bleeding character loses 2 health at the start of each of their side's rounds. These can stack. This damage ignores armor. Bleeding, burning can be ended with first aid/water. Bleeding triggers bleeding wounds, and burning triggers fire wounds. So, wounds by type. Nicked, drop held item. Or yeah, we'll go vertically for this, since these are all the difference. Yeah, wounds by type. So we'll start with bleeding. 1, nicked, drop held item. 2, bleeding, +1. 3, still bleeding, +1. 4, bleeding, +2. 5, stays down. 6, bleeding, +3. 8, bleeding, +4. 10, Swiss cheese, death save. Blunt, 1, knocked down. 2, stunned for 1d5 rounds. 4, condition, concussion, disadvantage on intellect. 6, condition, broken limb, selected randomly, can't walk or can't do 2-arm stuff. And finally, blunt 10, spine snapped, death save. You know, honestly, I've thought about doing that, and maybe if I ever start stuff on a blue side, I could do that. I'm really good at cold reads, so that's like one of my greatest strengths in like theater stuff, is you give me a script or a book or something, I can cold read pretty well. So yeah, I think I could probably do that in some manner or way. I know, yeah, there would definitely be a blue Twitch stream, at least a few, where Talon would finally get her wish for kinky ass story time. Me grabbing a Shibari book and reading it aloud. I might do that after I get moved. Again, especially if I can have some privacy. Especially where I want my computer in that house. No one should be able to hear me. Oh, excuse me. But where were we? I think we were heading to fire. Fire at 1. Hair removed. 2. Severe scarring. Gain 1d5 stress. Fire at 5. Condition. Black lung. Disadvantage on strength. At 7. Burning. +3. 8. Burning. plus 4. 9. Burning plus 5. And 10. Engulfed. Death save. Electricity wound at 1. Spasms. Drop held item. 2. Severe scarring. Gain 1d5 stress. 4. Stunned for 1d5 rounds. Electricity at 7. Stunned for 1d5 plus 5 rounds. And at 10. Electrocuted. Death save. Massive wound. At 1, knocked down. At 2, bleeding plus 2. At 3, bleeding plus 3. 4, condition, concussion, disadvantage on intellect. At 6, condition, broken limb, selected randomly, can't walk or can't do 2-arm stuff. At 8, unconscious for 2d10 hours. And massive damage at 10. To shreds. You are dead. Yeah, so cozy. I'm talking about death. Alright, death saves though. When you reach your maximum wounds, you are doomed. When this happens, you get an opportunity to go out memorably. You can create an opening for others to escape, trade lives with a powerful foe, uncover a secret, or at least make some epic statement before you pass out. Once you're down, roll a d10 and hide it under your hand or cup. When the other player makes it to your body to check on you, dramatically reveal the die and consult the table on the right. If the party has to run away or otherwise doesn't check on you, you are assumed dead within hours. Death saves. 1. Knocked out. Wake up 2d10 hours. Reduce maximum health by 10, or reduce maximum health to 10 and maximum wounds to 1 until you receive long-term medical care. 2 to 5. Death's door. Your injuries are too much. You'll be dead in 1d10 hours without long-term medical care. And 6 to 10. Dead. Make a new character. Ooh, that made the hackles raise up on me. To shreds, you say? Exactly. All right, hazards though. Again, I'm really liking how the system is working. Like, I see why Jade, you were so interested in it, and yeah, I'm definitely now excited to play in this world. Even if it means I'm gonna eat shit terribly, I don't care. I mean, that was the same with Saray. If Saray dies, she dies. So will this poor sap once I give her a name and give her some background. Each time you begin a turn while unable to breathe, choking underwater, toxic fumes, etc., we can eat shit together. Hooray! Oh, this is gonna be fun, and you're starting it with Jade. Oh, you are in for an experience, Raven. Jade is magnificent. That being said, she is ruthless. And that's why we love her. It's because it's a wonderful balancing act. She lets us do pretty much whatever we want. But that also means that she gets to have her fun. You lose 1 health ignoring armor. When your health reaches 0 in this way, you gain 1 wound, but do not roll on the wounds table. Instead, you gain the following unique wounds. She threatened to murder me with a healing stim. I was gonna say, yeah, and Jade was saying earlier that she was talking with Raven through things and going through every question, so yeah. Alright, let's see what this condition is in air. Condition, winded. Disadvantage on body saves for 1d10 hours. Oof. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Temperature. Generally, just being a bit too hot or too cold means that your character simply changes their clothes. In areas significantly over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, or under 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, characters not wearing special clothing must make a body save at the end of each hour. On a failure, they fall unconscious and will die in 1d5 hours without short-term medical care. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, wind is a factor, sadly. Because that is light enough to be affected by winds about a mile up. Especially. Alright, food and water. After 24 hours without sufficient food or water, you make rolls with disadvantage. For each additional 24 hours, make a body save. On a failure, you fall unconscious, needing short-term medical care to wake up again. After 3 days without water or 3 weeks without food, you die. His stim railgun. Oh no. No, mischief. Alright. We'll get to radiation in a minute because it looks like it has a fun chart. Fatigue. After 24 hours without at least 6 hours of sleep, you make rolls with disadvantage. For each additional 24 hours, make a body save. On a failure, you fall unconscious for 1d10 plus 5 hours. And radiation. Nuclear power is common in science fiction, and just being near the stuff can kill you if you're not careful. Hazmat suits, worn armor, and armor cybernetics can protect you from radiation. The effects of radiation. Level 1. Trace. Standing near a power plant. Nothing now, but possible side effects years later, cancer, etc. Any armor protects you. Pretty much. Pretty much D. Playing with electronics. Level 2 radiation. Acute. Minor reactor leak. Uranium mines. Every minute. Reduce all stats and saves by 1. Any armor protects you. Yeah. Let's see. Level 3. Lethal. Unshielded reactors. Nuclear fallout. 3 Mile Island went up again, didn't it? Every round. Body save or lethal dose. Death in 1d5 days. Requires hazmat suits or heavy armor. Oof. Again, radiation is always scary, so shouldn't be that surprised. Since most cyberpunk stories take place in urban settings, you're probably going to end up in a vehicle at some point. Very large vehicles like trains and ships should be treated more like moving parts of the environment than some kind of interactive object. For anything more normal sized, you can treat vehicles similarly to NPCs, with movement, health, wounds, and armor. A vehicle's speed stat indicates how many range bands it can move in a turn. Vehicle armor is only destroyed by wounds. Use common sense to determine if you can shoot a vehicle's passenger, operator, or if they're fully or partially covered by it. Yeah. It's funny, like, that was one of the notes I saw at the very beginning. Let's see, we're on 33. We'll be back to read the rest in just a second. I mean, Bite the Hand's descriptor here in this blue box is so great about why it came to be. Bite the Hand was conceived while playing Cyberpunk 2077, being a warden of a mothership campaign, listening to 9 Inch Nails and Rage Against the Machine, and watching the news in December of 2024 and January of 2025. Thanks. And no thanks. I adore that. Let's see, where were we? The second paragraph? Operating a vehicle in combat requires using your action. When reasonable, your action can involve both moving and shooting a weapon. Pistol on a motorcycle, missiles from a plane, etc. Usually skill checks will be used to operate vehicles under duress, though some vehicles may be operated by computer systems demanding intellect. Many cyberpunk vehicles are equipped with aftermarket weapons and systems, but I'll just provide some basic templates here. Motorcycle, speed of 3, people of 2, health wounds of 12 and 2, an armor of 5, car and SUV, speed 3, just like the bike, but holds up to 5 people, health and wounds, 25 health, 3 wounds, and 10 armor. And then armored truck, speed 2, obviously, can hold up to 7 people with a health of 30 and a wounds of 3, and an armor of 20. Vehicle wounds. Hull damage. Reduce armor by 1d5. 7 to 9. Tire tread. Jet damaged. Half travel speed. Disadvantage on checks and saves to maneuver. 10. Engine struck. Dead. And then for death saves. 1 to 2. Damage beyond use, but repairable. 3 to 8. Beyond hope for repair. And 9 to 10. Gonna blow. Crew takes body saves. 60-10 damage explosion. Massive wounds. Sorry, their filler for what art they want here is, oh, that's magnificent. A legally distinct Akira slide. Obviously. Oh, I love the makers of this already. Let's see. Downtime. Routine rest. If you end your day in a safe place with sufficient food and water, you can simply rest for a few hours to get yourself in fighting shape for the next day. You roll 2 saves in order to end in order at the end of the rest. You might have disadvantage if the rest is in poor conditions, or advantage in luxurious conditions. Save 1. Stress relief. Optionally, make a mind save. If you succeed, remove 1d5 stress. This does not remove conditions caused by panic checks. You can gain advantage on this check by participating in a relaxing activity such as consensual sex, light drug use, drinking, meditation, or music. If you fail, you gain 1 stress like a normal mind save. But do not panic on critical failures. Save 2. Health recovery. Make a body save. If you succeed, regain 1d10 health. This does not restore wounds if you critically fail, and you gain 1 stress like normal. But do not panic. I love the fact that consensual sex is actually, I mean, it is stress relief in a way. I love it. Big rest. You need a good safe space to do this, which may not always be easy. When you take at least 1 week of downtime from your adventures, a few things happen. Convert stress to upgrades. Lose all stress. It's like lose all stress down to your minimum. Then convert those into upgrade points for your stats and saves. For example, if you have a minimum stress of 4 and a current stress of 8, you can increase your stats and saves by 4 total. You could increase your mind by 2 and your strength and skill by 1 each, for example. No stat or save can exceed 60, excluding upgrades through cybernetics. You can spend 5 of these points to gain 1 max health. Max health cannot exceed 20, excluding cybernetics. Refill all health. Do not remove wounds or end conditions. Reduce your heat by 1d5. Do not remove heat accrued due to deaths. Nothing stops the money collectors. Oof. Oh, that hurts. That one stings. Medical care. In most scenarios in Bite the Hand, medical care is privatized, expensive, and unpredictable. The costs are determined by AI algorithms and shadowy boards appearing random to the outside observer. The price of treatment is usually not revealed until after the treatment is done. You might go into debt. Short-term care. 10d10 times $10. Time, 1 day. Options. Restore a single wound and end its effects. Treat a simple disease. Treat starvation, thirst, heat stroke, or hyperthermia. End a single condition. Long-term care. 10d10 times $50. Time, 1d10 days. Treat a complex disease. End a coma. Restore all stats and saves lowered by overstress. Reverse the effects of acute radiation. Restore a character who has survived making a death save. Oh boy, page 35. I love the name of that title. Participating in Capitalism. Upgrading cybernetics. Getting new cybernetics is a simple one-day operation that can be done at most hospitals, and even back alley black market clinics. Once your characters get their hands on some cash, this is a good way to spend it, and it is the most common way for your character to become stronger. See page 10 for the monetary and stress costs of new cybernetics. I believe it was what, 500 for tier 1s, 1,000 for tier 2s, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think it was 2,000 for tier 3s, which makes sense. Shopping. Generally, it's not worth making much of a fuss about buying and selling things and bite the hand. The Second Amendment is alive and well, and most items can be purchased freely within any city. Sometimes you might need to seek out a black market for big things like heavy weapons or illegal software. Selling simple things like guns you pick up from goons you kill gets you about half their value in the second-hand market. If you want to sell something very particular, like a prototype weapon or sensitive information, you'll need to find a specific buyer. Expenses. These rules are optional. Many games of Bite the Hand will be one-shots or shorter campaigns where you may not want to waste time on such things. Housing. Since cyberpunk stories also take place in big cities, most folks lived in cramped apartments. Monthly rent is anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, depending on the size and quality of the apartment, and can be split by a few people. Depending on the circumstances of the game, players might have these expenses paid by a sympathetic NPC, or you might go into debt. Having a permanent residence at all can be risky as a rebel, though, so you may instead opt to be nomadic. You can get hotel rooms for $100 to $400 per night, couch surf with friendly NPCs, use a vehicle, or sleep pretty much anywhere else illegally. As long as you have 4 walls and a roof when it's time to rest, you'll manage. Food. You need at least a pound of food and a liter of water each day. You can usually find this for around $10 to $20. Grab a bite at your hotel or steal something. Debt. You need money to get stuff. Unfortunately, and if you want to get stuff you can't afford, you have to go into debt. You can usually only go into debt for serious and legal things like medical expenses and housing. No one legitimate is going to give you a loan to buy a gun. For every $2,000 of debt you have, you gain 1 heat. Heat gain this way can only be removed by paying off the debt or forging a new identity. When you apply for a loan, roll a d20. If the result is less than equal your current heat, your application is denied. You must wait 1 week to apply again. Oof. Okay, and then this part's the warden stuff. We're not gonna read most of this because this is for Jade to play with. As a player, I don't need this much. But there's a few things we still need to do. Yep, this is Jade's playground, and I'm not going to intrude on this. But there's still stuff we can do. I need a name, and I need some things to show what and why. You're welcome, Jade. I know I was reading out a lot of technical stuff that maybe might not always be talked about, but I thought it was good to at least like talk some of it for people, especially to familiarize myself with this system too, since this is my first time reading it, so. I think I have a first name. That'd be mostly what she'd be called. No, I think I have a name. Okay. I think that's a fun one. Let's see. Just doing that to minimize anything's, yeah. Yeah. Cassandra or Cass Murray. I think that's a nice little name. Let's see. So her tattoo is something along the lines of "Eat the Rich," right? Let's see. I think Jade said this is taking place in our world. In the Earth. In America. Let's see. General RPG chat. Okay, yeah. So we're on the East Coast. But we're gonna say Cass is originally from California. But she's something of a specialized operative type mercenary. So let's go put this in notes. And don't worry, we have something special for the Eat the Rich tattoo. I have a fun little note for that one, so. And at worst, we might even fill out like a. Actually, I might do this in a notepad. So give me 2 seconds, because I think this might be a little easier to type in with this. Eat the Rich tramp stamp. Ooh. Actually, I was thinking of a back tattoo, honestly. So let's go with that, and then we can get to her stuff. Yeah. We can get to her background. So Eat the Rich tattoo. Yeah, equally slutty. Emblazoned on the back of. Actually, across the back. Across Cass's back is a large brown bear. Tearing at monocled pig that appears to be screaming. Yeah, pig. The pig appears to be screaming in distress. Yeah, basically. Bear's expression. So that there's a fun way for hers. No text, just emblazoned across Cass's back is a large brown bear tearing at a monocled pig. The pig appears to be screaming in distress, while a burning fury is in the bear's expression. I think that's a fun little twist on Eat the Rich in its own way. It was that or have like a money symbol on the pig. With a dollar symbol on side. There we go. Yep. I think that is, yeah. The bear is eating the Monopoly guy. Monopoly pig. Is it cheesy? Yeah. Is it schlocky? Yeah. But I think that's fun. All right, let's get to this part, huh? Passes the vibe check, yeah. Raised in. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna make her kind of like how fucked are we gonna make her? How fucked in the head is Cass? Fucked in the head, yes. Yeah, money was leaned non-existent in her home with frustrated, desperate, and gambling-addicted parents. Pulling at each other. She chose to rely on herself as she entered teens. To manipulate to get any advantage she could. Again, I'll read this like fully once I get it out too. So much so. Form. Oh. Yeah, I think this will be a fun little thing. Dialing books and... Let's see. Yeah, just trying to see how to incorporate the use of the marksman rifle, especially into stuff. Yeah, games just want me to be snipers, because I swear it's... Is it because I used to do sharpshooting? Like, why? Why games? Let's see, I also just want to see about this, most likely there's going to be like two different sections, because also we'll give a nice description of what she looks like. I'm just also seeing the description that Jade so lovingly gave us about our character's mission. You made a lovely intro description I'm wanting to make sure that I integrate properly. Yeah, so I'm just making sure that, you know, like I do with all of my characters, because I'm so obnoxious about it, of like, you've given me a world, I'd like to integrate. I did that with Natalka. I tried to do that a bit with Saray, though I am more than aware that Saray is a bit of a A bit of a fucking turn from me, but integrate away. Oh yeah, and I'll be sure to read this aloud here, as well as obviously send this in a copy to you along with the character sheet once I'm done. Yes. Being the distraction or final. Okay, that goes nice and hard, and I will read that out shortly after I get a good description for her. Ah, one problem is, like, I'm trying not to say things out loud so I can read it more appropriately, but as you can see, I can typically start pumping out writing pretty quickly. I have a very creative mind. With how I handle some of these things. trying to think of. Yeah, she's on a mist. She's on several. I was gonna say, yeah, no, you got good eyes for being able to read that text. I guess I see it a little smaller on my preview window. Hey, no worries. Since I'm just doing it live, I'm like, fuck it. We're gonna make this from the ground up for all to fucking see. Silver blue hair, Arctic. You alright, Mar? Yeah, hi, buddy. Sorry, I heard a murring behind me, but I think Marsh is just jumping down off the futon and knocked the wind out of himself a little bit. Did you? Hey, buddy. Yeah, good boy. Gotta pet a cat when I can. All right, I think that is the full description I'm going to go with, because I think this will be absolutely perfect. And let's read it aloud for everybody to enjoy, huh? Let me just do that. Originally born and raised in San Diego, Cass had a rougher upbringing. Money was lean to non-existent in her home, with frustrated, desperate, and gambling-addicted parents and relatives about, clawing at each other like drowning rats. She chose to rely on herself as she entered her teens, learning to manipulate and wield her charm to get any advantage she could. So much so, she went out of her way to have her appearance altered, making her wiles even easier to perform. Though, where beguiling looks and honeyed words don't work, a well-placed bullet could do just as well. She sharpened her skills in marksmanship, having her body be further altered for stealth and assassination, taking down those who she couldn't convince otherwise. These skills helped propel her forward into paramilitary circles, sending her all over North America, taking down overextending corpos, schmoozing with government lackeys and lapdogs, being the distraction or the final knell if someone has outlived their usefulness to her and her group. Cass stands at about 5'10", with a lithe but tautly built body. What parts of her are still flesh and bone, at least. Various patches of skin on her legs melt into polished chrome and burnished brass, all being able to move fluidly with grace and poise. A clean, straight mop of auburn brown hair adorns her head, cut in a sharp, angled bob. A streak of silvery blue hair arcs through it, shimmering in contrast. Her features seem almost too perfect. Cheeks that carry just the right ratio of point and roundness, her nose being at the perfect size and shape. Even the cast of her piercing hazel eyes seem to have been altered to be alluring, though the intents behind them lean more to the tattoo she has carved into her back. The image of a large, furious, ravenous bear, tearing at and devouring a monocled swine, who itself has been marked with various currency symbols and stock banners. A not-so-subtle hint at what she thinks of this world. Welcome to Cassandra Cass Murphy. Or Murray, sorry. Not Murphy. Murray. And I think I'm going to cause some trouble with this one. Yep, I love her. Glad you do. And I'm guessing right. Herpidippidir. There we go. Cass Murray. But with that, here, let me get that display capture disappeared for a moment, as I also save the notepad. There we go. Just in case it was going to show file locations. But yes. Let's make another ruthless character, but this one be two-faced. I love it. Because, yeah, I guess that's the thing. My other three characters have been nothing but brutally honest, wearing their hearts on their sleeves, haven't they? Srey is sweet to a fault or scared out of her wits. Yue is fucking Yue. And then Natalka, yeah, does not hide or mince most of who she is aside from her background. Yeah, I was gonna say I stole a couple traits from my own self because I've got chromatic hazel eyes, and they tend to shift with emotions. Yeah. Yeah, we all have a thing for red-haired, hazel-eyed stuff. I've always loved the color of like auburn red hair. It's just, oh, it's so pretty. It's that nice mix of just earthy brown and just a little bit of fire. But yeah, that's gonna be the character that I'm gonna run then. Yeah, no winch twist for me just. Wrist winch for me just yet. Hard to say. Words are hard. Words are very hard. Oh goodness, but yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this will work on Wednesday. Again, something quick, neat. Even as a one-shot, here I am trying to just be like, all right, I'm ready for anything long-term. But I know we're just testing a system, so if Cassier eats shit, oh no. Oh no. Maybe she'll come back in other forms and other one-shots. Maybe not this one, but... or maybe not anything similar to this, but who knows? Yeah, I was gonna say, I have my hair currently dyed a pretty nice auburn color. I got a thick head of hair. I'm supposed to get it touched up, but I don't know if I can. But... God, those D12s those D12s are not cooperative, but here, we'll put these back, because we'll likely not use these again. Because most likely, we're going to be doing these digitally. I'm not sure which system Jade's going to be having us do this on. Probably Dunes, and if that's the case, then that's the case. Oh yeah, I never showed the backside of this scroll, did I, to anyone? Here, let me turn off display capture 2 again. But yeah, this is the back of this dice mat scroll. It's super cool. It's supposed to be a Dunamancy scroll. I believe it's supposed to be Fortune's Favor from campaign 2 of Critical Role. I remember when this came out and on sale, and I was like, oh, that's a really fun and creative like dice mat. Yeah, I love it. Again, did I watch all of campaign 2? Hell no. I didn't watch it all the way through of any campaign, but yeah. Other campaigns, I love them, don't get me wrong, it's just my attention span sucks. And the moment I start missing episodes, it just starts getting more daunting. I have difficulty watching anime. What makes you think I have the ability to watch D&D every Thursday? I have friends to hang out with. But it's one of my favorite dice mats. It's very cool. And again, just a really neat piece of like nerd paraphernalia to have for stuff. Because yeah, it looks neat and it was well put together and it's nice leather. And you can hold so many dice, as you can see. Yeah, it's my favorite. A fun little treat for me. But yeah, let's also get that sent off to Jade. While we're at it. Downloads. There is the beloved harpy. There she is. Oh, nice. Yeah, during campaign 2 was when I started my own campaign in Exandria myself. I set it like 200 years in the future, because then at least anything that currently happened in campaign 2, and even by some factor campaign 3, everybody would be dead save for 1 to 2 people. You know, one of them being Vax'ildan, he's already dead. You can't die when you're now an Eternal Revenant. And the other being more than likely Caliph. Just because she was half-elven and fairly young when she became a druid. And at this point she's, you know, she was a max level druid. At like level 17, your lifespan suddenly multiplies by 10. So she's gonna live for, you know, aside from assassinations. I don't remember if anything happened in campaign 3 to Caliph, but because I know that some of the Vox Machina characters showed up there, but barring that, yeah, Caliph would live for like another 1700 years. Something like that. Some ludicrous number due to the fact that she's a max level druid. Again, barring getting murdered. But yeah, I did one in that, initially doing it around holiday themes, and then as I was getting more and more interest from my group to continue playing, I decided to try to switch it from holiday theming to suddenly every month we would be doing stuff based on the characters, and eventually we would get to everybody. Well, that started to peter out because, again, obviously I started to focus on 1 or 2 of the characters, and then that kind of left the other ones out of it, and just stuff like that. Yeah, it was a fun campaign, but I had a lot of new players, so I was trying trying things to try to keep them engaged and shit, and yeah, it wasn't a bad campaign, but yeah, just life got in the way, so we didn't continue for much longer. But it was good times. I had made a few custom vestiges of the Divergence, or something equivocal to that, of like Matt Mercer's evolving legendary items. One of them being a scythe, and that one was Dunamantic. And I did some real bullshit with that. Obviously my characters were super powerful by the end. Like, it basically gave some of the effects of like Echo Knight, and if he could push its will further and further, I had actually made a 4th step for all the current vestiges as well as the custom ones I had made, which was a really fun feature, but it is a one-time use for a player to do. Is if they had their vestige at the 3rd and quote-unquote final stage, in absolutely dire emergency, if they could do something that was convincing enough for me to allow it, I would activate its 4th and final stage. The downside was, upon like completion of the fight, you know, kind of anime style of like, you know, you finished the fight and you held out, one of 2 things would happen. Either the vestige itself would crumble to dust and disappear, because it violently exceeded its limits, or it would kill the player. And that was something I warned them, if they ever did, that is what would happen. Obviously, none of them got to the point of getting to their 4th stage, or to their 3rd stage even, so luckily they didn't have to run the risk of like activating that power surge against an unsurmountable foe. It was a really fun system, and I was really interested to pull shit like that. But again, that's incredibly crazy and overpowered magic. Very cartoon and anime coded. Because yeah, there's some fun in the power fantasy. And nothing like a little bit of risk. I miss GMing. It's probably why sometime in the next year or two, if I can make time and stuff like that, and you know, get everything sorted where I'm at, or where I will be in a couple months. I will definitely see if I can do at least a couple one-shots in Hyperforce and Convictor Drive for those that want to join in. Because again, I have a hyperfixation and it is tokusatsu. So, you know, one of those is the Power Rangers TTRPG and the other is a Kamen Rider TTRPG. If you've never watched Kamen Rider, it's like Power Rangers, or Super Sentai, but typically focusing on one or two characters, or a little more armor, a little more emotion, a little darker. Those are really fun. I do still have, I think, the Firefly campaign books and stuff like that as well. Like I have a good number of TTRPGs that I would love to do a little bit in each time, because yeah, at my heart I'm still a browncoat. Fuck Joss Whedon, but I'll take some of his earlier works. I'll keep Firefly and Dr. Horrible at my heart. But yeah, there's some fun shit out there. But yeah, I am definitely excited for this. But with that said, it's nearly 11 p.m. We have done what I wanted tonight, which was make a character and make a character for Jade's campaign, and then also build half of a little guy. We built half of Astray Red Frame because he looked like he was gonna probably take 7-8 hours maybe. So we can do the rest on next Monday. Now, let's see who we can raid out to though. See, Sarah's doing stuff. Let's see. Oh, thank you. I definitely tried to make it fun. Let's see. Just taking a quick look, see at who I can. I think we're going to give some love to Sarah Aces. I thought about going and bothering V. Or do I want to bother V? No, I know Sarah could use some love right now. And, she's definitely a sweet bean. I missed her at D&D yesterday. So let's go give her some love, huh? Let's see. My next stream is likely tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna figure something out. Maybe I'll get Dispatch, and we can start doing that. I just need to quickly see if I can make it safe for work, because I know that there's bits and stuff, and as much as I'm okay seeing stuff like that, Twitch is not. So we'll see. Yeah, floppy dangly bits, exactly. Somebody's got their whole dick out in that game. But yeah, please give Sarah all the love, and I will catch you all tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.